Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you how I do my Cabochon glass. I've been asked by some people over at Reddit on how I did this. So I am going to share that with you today. Okay, alright. So here I have with me some eyes that I actually painted digitally and then I printed it out on a piece of paper. So then after that I cut them out. And I have these Cabochon glass with me, and these are really helpful, especially when it comes to making sculptures. So then what we're going to do is we are going to paste it. I'm going to glue it together, and after that it'll look really nice and shiny. Before we do that, I have to clean the glass. Make sure it's like really nice and clean. You don't want any like scratches or smudges on it. So I have like my little bottle of Windex here. I'm gonna just take like a little tissue, wipe it all up. Now I'm gonna place it down the rounded side on the bottom because I don't want any more dirt to be attracted to the flat surface area. Now I know I used a tissue paper, so I'm gonna come back with a microfiber cloth. So if you have one of these, that would be really helpful. The glue I use for this is Selley's All Clear Multipurpose Co-Polymer Sealant. I find this to be really good because when it dries, it gives a crystal clear finish, and that is what we want. Before we start, I like to get a glossy magazine because I feel this is the best, honestly, when it comes to surface areas. So, because what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze out some glue onto the printed eye here, and then we're going to press it. There's obviously going to be excess glue that's going to come out, which will be very sticky. So I find, you know, of course, learn a lot through trial and error that it is really sticky, but the best surface to work on is on glossy paper. Like, so when you see magazines and stuff, I tend to just take it and apparently it's a lot easier to remove it. Now what I have with me is tweezers because I do not want to get, trust me, you get this glue on your hands and fingers is going to be absolutely such a drag. Okay, so I got here, going to put ample amount of glue here. It's always best to have more. It's best to have too much than too little. I'll try to bring it over to the side here. I don't want this center to get so much glue. Okay, so then just give one last wipe, just quickly. Okay, and then I'll just squeeze out. I like to kind of rub it in a circular motion because then it kind of, how to say, what is the word for it? Like equalize the amount of glue everywhere. And this is the tricky part when it comes to gluing Cabochon glasses, is air bubbles. So you try to squeeze out as much air bubbles as you can. So now here is where the tweezers come in handy. So I'm going to use a page and I'm going to flip it up so it will separate, the glue will separate from the paper and it's easier to pick it up. Okay, so this is why, because if you're just going to leave it there, it will just kind of like glue and dry with the surface as well, and you don't want that. Okay, that would be, yeah, that would not be nice. Okay, now two more, same thing. So what I find helpful is that you put something heavy on top of the glass Cabochon. That really helps in eliminating air bubbles because that is the major spoiler. Oh dear, I almost fall. That is the hardest part, is air bubbles. I can tell you not threw away, but I mean like that. there's like a lot of glass cabochons that I had to redo because of the whole air bubble problem thing. So you notice I put like a lot of glue, but not crazy amount of glue. I mean, it's like enough to see like a ring of excess glue. Because if you have too little, then what happens is you have air bubbles again, and it's super hard to add more glue. Trust me. Because if you have too little, you can't exactly go back in and add some more glue. So it's much better to it's much better to just do it right from the very beginning. Oh dear, it's sliding off. Alright, separate out, and that's it. I am just going to put this onto a fresh sheet of magazine and just let that dry off. I will put something heavy on top, and then it will just, you know, it'll just dry. Now I left the cabochon to dry. This is what I got, and you can see, I'm not sure if you can, yeah, you can see there's like a ring of dried glue around it. So by placing something heavy on it, you're constantly pushing all the air bubbles out. What I have with me today is a filer and a box cutter. So I'm just going to take one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to file it. File the sides. Now, before this, what I usually did through trial and error was to spray Windex on it. What this does, it can actually loosen the glue, its hold on the glass. So given the right amount, you can actually just pull it out. However, it's really hard to determine because sometimes it just does too good of a job that I ended up pulling even the glue inside the cabochon itself. So that was a really big no-no. It even had it created a really big air bubble in there, and you're basically just tearing the glue out. So that was not very, it's not a good decision at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a box cutter, and very carefully I'm just going to slice it all around. Okay, you see it's starting to come off. Slowly pull. I try not to pull too hard because it is, if I make a single mistake, I will have to redo this from scratch. I have to like soak it in water, get the glass and paper to like separate. So it's a lot of work. So it's, if possible, try to do everything in a single perfect sweep. So try to not leave any edges behind. Try to keep it as clean as possible. But more or less, you're gonna sculpt eyelids as well. So, you know, keeping the sides clean, not exactly top priority here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and please feel free to share it to anybody who may find it useful as well. If you like what I do and you like to support my channel, you can do so by heading over to Patreon. Link is down below. You can also follow me on the following social media sites listed down below in the video description. Thank you guys.